My aerial photography business gives me a chance to actually see example after example after example of injuries to the bay. I got a lot of pictures in my collection in a file, what I call ugly pictures. And when I show these pictures to different audiences, they leave with a frown on their face. But they show a lot of different things that are going on. These are kind of like what I would call examples of the 1,000 stabs to the bay. There's so many small injuries throughout the Bay Area that when you put them all together, it creates a big problem. 2 summers ago, I was flying up around the Sassafras River area. As I got up to the shore there, I was shocked to see this incredibly brilliant green color in the river. Even the pictures don't give justice to what it looked like to the eye from the airplane that day. As soon as I got back on the ground, I sent these pictures. I emailed them down to my friends at Horn Point. They sent them over to MDE. As it turned out, they closed the river the following day because this was a sudden and very quick and toxic algae bloom. And I asked them, I said, what created that problem? What they told me was upstream is a lot of new development. In Maryland, when a developer buys a farm and wants to create a development, they buy the farm and then they remove the topsoil because it's got a value and they sell the topsoil. Unfortunately, the ground, once the topsoil's missing on the Delmarva, it's pretty much clay, most places, some sand. But so a couple of years later, the stormwater management ponds that are part of these developments are overwhelmed and water runs off very quickly into the neighboring streams and creates the same sort of problems like this. One of my pet peeves is what we see a lot of in the creeks and rivers around here. These guys are dredging for clams. But what it's doing is they're rotor tilling the bottom of the creeks and rivers, and there's no chance any grass is going to even have a chance of growing there. And they're suspending a significant amount of silt, which blocks the sun rays from reaching the bottom to allow the grass to grow. And it's a lot of this going on. This is not a rare case. I see this every time I fly. I see a lot of injuries as a result of negligence with oil or fluids of some sort, but it makes quite a sheen on the water. Here's the Sassafras River Marina with a guy pumping bilge and traveling all the way up and under the bridge. This is one over on the western shore. I don't know what happened here, but it certainly is brilliant. Another image very similar to that. It's oil all over the place. I don't know if it's from the boat that's there or maybe one that just left. It's hard to say. Here's something else that I discovered one day, once again in Anne Arundel County. I saw this streak coming down this creek, and I followed it up to this house and realized what it was. It's a failing septic system. It's not a death from 2 or 3 different sources. It's a death from 1,000 stabs, and we're all doing those stabs every day, all day long. But we need to understand that what all these different issues are and compile them, understand them, and try to figure out a way where we can change our habits.